guys, welcome to my channel. Kiva here. Thank you guys for actually watching my video. Please remember to like and subscribe or even share this video. Today we're not going to be doing a book review or book wrap up. We're going to be talking about the tropes that I like to read in my books. Yes, it is such a big selling and marketing point these days in the book industry to know which tropes are in your books. Everybody wants to know what are they getting themselves into. Definitely, I've seen it for Stuffy Kindle Day and also all over TikTok and Instagram. Everybody wants to know what tropes. My favorite tropes are what you're going to actually hear about today. So what are tropes? These are plot structures, themes, storyline, and even personality traits that characters are going to embed it through the storytelling process. So without further ado, let's talk about the ones that I like to see in my books. So the first one on the list is the chosen one theme. This tends to actually be in fantasy books. As much as I'm a romance girl, I actually do dabble in real fantasy books quite a few times a month or for the year. I definitely like reading fantasy and seeing this trope. The chosen one theme is not played out, and I love to actually see why they are the chosen one, why they don't want to be the chosen one sometimes, how they end up being the chosen one. Especially when they are from a different realm and actually going into a different realm and they become the chosen one. They were nobody in their own realm, and when they come into this new place, they are the chosen one or who they were waiting on. I actually do love seeing it, how it plays out. The storyline tends to actually be very crazy and I love it. And for the second one is the person with a commitment issue and the person that's sworn off love. They try to actually come together, and they come and they say they're having something very casual. You know how these feelings are going to catch, and when they actually start realizing this, they love so hard and they fight against not actually having feelings for each other. But when they actually come together and say that they want this person, it is such a beautiful love story. And that only book that comes to mind is Worthy Love by A.E. Valdez. You need to check it out. The story was amazing. And then Found Family, this tends to not be one by itself. It can't, and I've never seen it done for itself. It tends to actually go with several other tropes. It can go with marriage of convenience, the chosen one theme also, because they tend to actually moving from one place coming into another and saying they have never experienced real family or they never had family, and whoever they are, when they go over to this side of life or whoever they start speaking to or having relations with, they tend to actually introduce them to a family dynamics that love on them the way that they want to be loved and to be seen and to be heard. And the book that comes to mind is the third book in the Masters Family series by T. Lin. The Masters Family, just, it's one beautiful story, and you have to go and check it out to actually feel and see this, especially when it's a female, they never had any bucketed from their mothers or their sisters, and they get it from the guy that they're speaking to family. It's always a beautiful love story. I always like seeing it. Then we move on to Grumpy Sunshine. I love this. This is a personality trait that I definitely like. The grumpy person that doesn't like anybody, he's like very introverted, and this burst of sunshine or excitement comes into his life and he wants to reject it, but he doesn't know how to, because it's just pouring into him and he can't do anything. But I didn't know the craziest part about this. When they get into it, they actually, at first he's like rejecting it, and as soon as like he starts absorbing it, he's like, I want more, and he's so protective of his sunshine being. And I really love to actually see it how he's like, let's go and do this. He's like, no, I'm not on that. And then before you know it, he's doing the weirdest of things that he would never have done before for her, just to make her happy. And their love story tends to actually be really beautiful. Sometimes it's a very tragic, but at the same time, at the end, they work it out, which is I'm very happy for. And you can see that in Twisted Love book 1. I mean, with Alex and Ava, their love story was crazy. Then we go into Office Romance. This trope is such a messy one sometimes. It tends to be like, okay, my coworker and I don't get along, but we're going on a project. Now we're working nights and day, and we start seeing each other in a different light, seeing vulnerabilities, seeing the true side of this person that was wearing an armor throughout their 9 to 5. And I start seeing her for who she is, a beautiful person, definitely. And you kiss one night and you realize that you can't go back to whatever you were doing before, or who you were doing before. This is your person, and it just kicks it off. I actually really love it, really love it. Office Romance tends to actually be with other tropes like friends to lover, hate to love, or enemies to lover. But Office Romance, definitely one of my favorite. I love to read it. There's no way you can mess it up for me. And 2 books that come to mind is Justify, Hall Pass, and Between Us. This one, Between Us, is mixed with our age gap, which is really beautiful and very short also. Justify, Hall Pass is friends to lover. They've known each other for years, but he never made a move because he never seen her in that light. Now we're going on to best friend, brother, or sister. This I say, you think Office Romance is messy? Think about best friend, brother, or sister. This is a situation where I actually love to see how the story unfolds when they're ready to tell the sibling that they are involved with their person. I mean, like, it's so crazy. Sometimes this is the miscommunication that I can deal with when it's not a lot, but you be like, okay, I've had feelings for this young lady for a long time, but me and her brother made a pact to say we're not going to touch each other's sisters, or I love this girl so much, but it's going to ruin our friendship with the brother or sister. I just can't do it at this present time. I'm going to be standoffish so much that she doesn't even want to actually be around me. And when things push come to shove, I have to have her. I can't really deny myself this at this point in time. I just can't. Books that come to mind are Come True, definitely. Twisted Hate from the Twisted Love series. I mean, like, those 2 books come to mind at this point in time. Those have the best friend trope. I mean, like, best friend, brother, and sister trope. I love it. The messiness that comes to mind. And also a lyric from the Eisenberg Effect series. I know Keanu was for Chef Kiss. I actually love Keanu, but I was like upset with the lyric at some point in time. But it's neither here nor there, but you just need to actually read it. Gary Huffington wrote that book, so you need to actually get into it. Now the Soulmate series, the Soulmate trope. This tends to actually be in fantasy, also a part of the paranormal romance kind of thing. For like the werewolves, you have Mate. For the vampires, Beloved. Phase, you have Mate also. So that's a big thing, and it tends to be like the person is either not aware of it because they're not a werewolf or a vampire or a fae, so they can't feel the bond, or they're enemies and they want to deny it. Especially like for the werewolf meats, they can reject it and hurt the person, but they haven't rejected it, and now they actually have to fall in love and work through their problems. And the person that doesn't have the bond or can feel the bond is like probably clueless, and they have to work to show that, okay, this is what is going on. And I actually do like when they actually tell them from the get-go, so this person can be aware of it. But at the same time, I like the messiness. That's the part. That's what is in my head. Don't tell her, work until she falls in love with you, and when she falls in love with you, you tell her. That's what tends to happen. And then the girl is going to go off. Like, she's like, oh my god, are these feelings really mine? No, they're not. I'm actually just being pulled by whatever bond mate thing we're having here. The whole drama, it's crazy. But sometimes it goes out of proportion. But it's neither here nor there. I always do love soulmate romance. No, we're going on to forbidden romance. This can be done right or wrong. It's a very delicate thing, and I don't see how anybody can get it wrong. Two people from two different class coming together. They're from two different, especially when like he is from upper class or she's from upper class, you're from the ghetto or from the projects. Parents don't want you together because you're not good enough for her. You're from the wrong side of life. And this love story tends to actually be very heart-wrenching at times, because one person is like, oh, see from my point of view why this cannot work, or see from my point of view why it can work. And you're like, oh no. The person from the upper class is like, you don't understand what is going on here, how everything is working, how this is supposed to be, and the differences between culture and the dynamics and the socioeconomic and the socialization tends to actually come into play. That's tend to be so the heart of it, especially when the work dynamics, especially if it's a bodyguard with their charge, they're like, oh, it's my job, I can't really, why am I going, why I have this pull, God take it from me. That kind of vibe. I love the energy. I love the whole angst of it, like the excitement that comes from it, the build up, and then the climax of when they get together and finally get their stuff together. They're like, oh my god, the story tends to actually be really, really beautiful. Fake Dating, the Twisted Love series, again, book 2 has that. Then we have Enemies to Lovers. Again, this is this can be done in the fantasy realm, again, paranormal, and also in office romance. Paranormal tends to actually be like with the werewolf, they're from different packs, feuding packs, and you just end up having a mate from that feuding pack. No, there's a bigger story to it. There's something that needs to be achieved. They need to actually call a truce to know you're getting together for a cause, because people are dying and we can't afford no more dead people. So in all, that's what happened. You start having feelings for each other. Eventually, the little things that they do for you, and you're like, oh my god, you start pouring into each other. You realize that it's not just only the bond, we actually really like each other. If there was no bond, this would have actually worked out together. And the fact that the only reason why I'm having reservations is because we are never on the same line, or we're from different packs, and it was integrated and ingrained in me to actually dislike you without a cause. And that's really, really nice, especially like for office romance where it's enemies to lovers. This person is coming into the office to come and take away your power and destroy your family's company. I mean, like, it can goes anyway. This man is your enemy, and you're here want decided that you're going to fight for what you need to fight for, and you end up actually falling for this man. I actually do love reading it. The mess, the whole craziness, the drama that comes with it tends to actually be crazy, especially when it comes to the fantasy books where you like somebody take your mate no away from you, decide upon yourself like, Jesus, I really love this girl and this man come and take my woman. No, it's not going like that. But we move on to fake dating, and this is, let me tell you about fake dating. Trope. I actually do really enjoy it. Really do enjoy it. You can't really do wrong for this trope because there's so many ways you can twist and turn it. And it can be used for various different type of romance. You understand? Fake dating, you know, you come and we come together, we make a truce that we're going to date because either I want to clean up my image or I want to get my family off my back. I need to get my inheritance. I need to get my inheritance. I just need to play off this for the being time. Exactly. And what would have led you to not think that you would catch feelings? Because feelings is flying everywhere when these things tend to happen, and the person that they actually sign up to do these things for is people that they tend to actually like from day one, or they would have chose them to actually date, or opposite, do attract. They think that they would never actually gain any feelings, but when they actually find how quirky and weird this person is and really enjoy being around them, they actually start catching feelings. Feelings is going to be there. The thing is this about fake dating that I really love is when one person falls first and they don't know what to do with themselves. They be like, oh my god, I'm having feelings here. This is more than what we actually signed up for. What am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with these feelings? You know? And they'll be like, okay, they're trying to play it off, but eventually the other person is like wondering, what are you going on with? I'm not understanding, what is this? When it all pours out and everybody gets down to it, the next person actually somewhat tend to actually feel the same, but was scared to actually say anything. And they wonder if the dynamics was worth it, if this is really happening or not happening. That is what happening in fake dating, miscommunication. But I will really for that. But not all of it needs to be miscommunication. Tend to actually be all of that. And I will gobble it up. We want to say fake dating, I'm there for it. Revive Me Part 1 does embody everything that I'm talking about. Person falls first and he doesn't have a clue what to do with himself. The next person is clueless to it, thinking that this is just a part of what their engagement or whatever they agree to. Definitely. Alright, the pregnancy trope. And as I said in other videos, once a baby's in it, once a child pops up in there, a secret pregnancy, a secret child, I am for it. Definitely. I love the story where, and it tends to actually pair with second chance romance. And you and I were in something together. It never worked out. I left. I found out that I was pregnant, but when I come back, you move on with your life so quickly. I decided I'm not going to interrupt you anymore. I'm not going to interrupt you. 5 years later, we just happened to be book up in each other, and my babies are with me, or my baby's with me, and you're like looking back and forth like, what? You see the resemblance and you're like, hold up, ma'am, hold up. I love how the reaction of the male lead tends to actually be like, oh, Is that how you're gonna play me? Nah, you're playing with life and you're playing with fire. It will get burned. And later to actually be in this riff, and you have to be around now because he wants to be a part of his child's life, and you are not. You're fighting the feelings from what pickle feel that you have, and it just, when the dam breaks and your feelings start to flood down, it can't help. The whole dynamics, the energy that passed through, I love it. I really love it. When you come to Arron's Patience and A Date for the Mayor, those two books come to mind, and they actually really do the pregnancy trope really well, along with It's a Second Chance romance mixing with it. But to top the list of all my favorite tropes is Marriage of Convenience. How can you not love Marriage of Convenience, guys? Marriage of Convenience is that I need to get married because I need my inheritance. I need to get married because I need my place in the company. I need to get married because I need to just do something. I need to get this money. And the willing victim is like, okay, yeah, I'm here for it. Definitely, I'm here for it. And I love the whole craziness of it. It tends to actually be with office romance, mafia books. I love it. 180 comes to mind, Terms and Conditions come to mind. Even Arron Patience is definitely a part of the Marriage Convenience part again. And I love actually reading this. The whole thing, they get married and they be like, it's like a fake dating again. They get married and they don't know what to do with themselves when they start catching these feelings, and they be like, my wife. I love it. It's actually go crazy for it. But there are tropes other than Marriage of Convenience. I really do like Friends to Lover, but it's very iffy. And why I say it's iffy, and it has to be done properly. Because why were you, as my friend, letting me date idiots, and you have feelings for me a long time, and knowing that you were a decent human being and we could have moved on with our lives, and then you're waiting until I get married? I'm about to get married. You know how expensive marriage business is? You know, all of those things that she has paid for, or the person has paid for, you come and just take out yourself and just like, no, don't do that. But I love how Justify Hall Pass have done their Friends to Lovers. Writer's Block also did awesome with the Friends to Lovers. Second Chance, I tend to not like it because of how crazy it seems. The whole heap of the drama, as I said, I like the messiness, but not too much. Second Chance, but I've actually started to get into Second Chance a little bit more than I used to. Second Chance romance, like Before I Let Go, that was such a beautiful book by Kennedy Ryan. And also, I think you can classify the second book as a second chance romance, if that is what it is, or a second chance at love. Yeah, but Kennedy Ryan did an awesome job with Before I Let Go. The one trope that I tend to not like is the miscommunication. If it's just long and drawn out, this is the whole basis of it. I need to miscommunicate right through the entire book, and 90% of the book is miscommunication, where it what it needed was, come, let me ask you this, let's talk about this, like, because we're grown folks and we're exchanging bodily fluids. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, talk it out. But otherwise, those are the book tropes that I definitely gobble up when I'm reading my books, especially my romance books, and I really love these tropes. So guys, until next time, leave your comments at the bottom down there and tell me your favorite tropes and a book recommendation that goes with your trope. So until next time, guys, bye.